Hey, this is JR, the TextPat OTG, and this is Old Guys Talking Shit number 16. Are we sure it's number 16? We had quite a thing about that last time.
I looked it up before we came.
Okay, because if not, then this would be what, 14? No, let's don't.
No, not even close.
No, we're not going to start that, are we?
No, last one was 15.
The last one was 15. That's it. So what's new? What do we got on the table today?
Today we're going to talk about lazy politicians.
Boy, that's an easy one.
Yeah, it sure is. No matter where you go, there are lazy. Well, they're all lazy.
Yeah.
If you're a politician, should never generalize, but in this case,
you can generalize. Yeah.
If you're a politician, as far as I'm concerned, you're a lazy bugger.
The big lazy politician thing going on right now is the shutdown in the U.S.
That's right.
They pretty much shut down the government about a month ago, I think, 30 some odd days ago, I think. Starting to have an effect on a lot of the population. It's going to have a big effect on the people that are on food aid, the SNAP program.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think they're going to do about it? Do you see any signs of a change of any kind?
I can't speak for your politicians. I would never speak for any politician. They're a bunch of lazy ass people. They can't get a real job, so they go into politics. And then they do stuff like this. And they make it so that they get paid, even though there's nothing to do because they've shut everything down. But nobody else gets paid. The
one thing they don't have is they don't have fringe benefits that we have here at Hops and Brews, like being able to drink on the job.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's a great thing. This is one of the nicest places to shoot in all of the Subic area. The SNAP program, that feeds 42 million people. So I decided I'd look up and see exactly what these people are getting. A family of four gets just almost $1,000 a month in the SNAP program. That's more than an average family of four in the Philippines earns.
Yeah, and if you're talking 42 million people.
Yeah,
that's more than the population of Canada.
They're not going out and working and earning the living. And
so that means if we joined as a 51st state, we could all be lazy like your politicians.
Well, yeah,
stay home.
We wouldn't even notice you're there. You know, it'd be like a little fringe element over on the side.
Your system is pretty stupid.
What I can't understand is how you can have a system of government that just stops. To me, that whole concept is just ludicrous. I mean, you can't just stop the government and stop paying all the bills and things like that. I don't know how that got into the Constitution, or if it is, and how it could possibly work that way. Doesn't seem right somehow.
No, it does not. Like I say, I don't understand the American political system to begin with, but that's one thing that to me is just ludicrous.
Yeah, the thing that's so funny about it is if they pass a continuing resolution, it doesn't really do anything. It just keeps things the way they are now. It doesn't really change anything in policy, but the Democrats are holding out for a policy change that would, they say, cost $1.5 trillion and allow illegal migrants to get medical aid.
Right.
That's their reason for holding out. And personally, I don't think that's a great reason. I think the continuing resolution, just a clean one's fine. Worry about that other stuff. Kick the can down the road.
Yeah. And basically it's just because they disagree over health. Is it healthcare?
Yeah, well, they say it's healthcare, but you know, if they have $1.5 trillion, it's going to be all kinds of things. They're going to be funneling money off to their favorite NGOs, and it's somehow going to hit the politicians' pockets at some point. They can always use an extra $1.5 trillion, right? Well, the thing that I thought should be upsetting to the American public, guess who does get paid during the freeze?
Those lazy ass politicians.
The lazy ass politicians. They still get their checks. It seems like if they're going to do something like that, they should be the first one to be shut down.
I agree. If you were working in a regular job and you stopped working, you wouldn't get paid.
No, you wouldn't. I think that's just an amazing thing. I still also think that $1,000 for a family of four to eat is amazing too. I wonder what they let them buy. You know, I'll check into that for the next video that we do, because I'd like to find out what they're allowed to buy with that money. Are they allowed to buy Diet Cokes? They should be buying, you know, big bags of flour and
Yeah,
and lard.
When you told me we were going to be talking about that and you gave me things to look up, one of the things that I noticed is that there are things that are on the no shopping list. Now, apparently there are ways to get around it.
Yeah, there always have been.
But even things like buying soda drinks, you're not really supposed to buy those. You're supposed to buy the essentials.
Right.
Healthy food.
Right.
And of course, alcohol would be off the list as well. From that side of it, that part makes sense about about the things that they're not supposed to. The thing that's kind of interesting is that there are ways around it so that you can buy this stuff.
Yeah.
With your...
Well, I saw they were talking about buying prepared dinners, like the ones that you order and have them delivered to your house. They'll let them buy those. I think that it ought to be stuff you have to cook. Potatoes and beets and carrots.
Yeah, but see, that's...
Lettuce and tomatoes.
Is that right? Because not everybody can cook.
Well, they are required to have a kitchen because that was one of the qualifying things that you had to have to get.
So you can't live in a hotel room and...
Well, you could if you have a burner and a refrigerator in there. They'd probably count that as a kitchen. You have to have a place to cook and prepare food.
I don't know of too many hotel rooms that come with that.
They don't come standard with it, but like I said, you can probably get a hot plate and use their little service refrigerator.
I think most hotels have a policy about not having hot plates.
I also probably figure that a lot of those guys living in tents along the streets of California are getting those SNAP benefits too.
Sure, and
they're selling them. There's never been a time that I can remember when you couldn't sell your food stamps or your food benefits or something somehow. Not something that you just go in and say, hey, I've got $100 worth of food coupons here. Could you give me $80 for it? But there were little stores, and usually it was the little Korean store or the little Chinese store.
Yeah.
That you could give them the food stamps and they would give you cash. Mm-hmm. It's nearly always been like that. I'm not over there now, and I don't know how they do it now, but I'm sure they're doing it. When you have such a complicated system, government as the U.S., you can always get around the rules. And in some cases, there's not any rules, and there's no oversight. I'm sure that program is just bereft with fraud and all kinds of things.
I remember a time, and this is going back when I was just a little youngster, where there were some people who were on the welfare system, but those were the exception.
Yeah.
Now you're talking over like 42 million.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's a pretty high percentage, because what's your population in the States? 120 million?
No, it's like 350 million.
350 million?
Yeah.
42 million, that's a pretty sizable portion.
Yeah, it comes out to a big percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that many people would need food assistance.
Well, and when you look at the unemployment rate in the States, it's not that terribly high. So obviously these are people who, they're not even out looking.
No, they're not looking for a job. I don't know. Like I said, the government shutdown is bad. The fact that these people aren't going to get their food money, maybe it'll cause somebody to look at that program a little closer. So Canada doesn't have anything like that as far as a government stopping it.
I think if our politicians decided that they were just going to go home and stay home for a week or two, we'd probably call a snap election. We can do that in Canada.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't think they can do that in the U.S., but if the politicians will all go home for a while, things would get better. That could happen. So what else is going on? We've been getting a little rain. We've had some typhoons drift through here and stuff like that. How's things been out at your place?
Yeah, not too bad. I think most of the typhoons, they mostly hit down in the areas like Mindanao, pretty far away. We get sort of the edge of it, so we get some rain, but not that much.
You know what Ray and I are always laughing about is that the weather that you get at your house is different from the weather that we get at our house, and we're only about 7 or 8 kilometers apart. Mm-hmm. And I'll call you and you'll say, oh, it's raining like hell over here. I'll look out and it'll be sunshine and the cats will be frolicking out in the yard and things like that at our house. That's just a real interesting thing. And we are so close. that you would think that it would be the same.
How far are you from the water?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Ray, how far are we from the water?
45 minutes.
45 minutes?
45 minutes, okay. So we're a lot closer, like to the bay.
Yeah.
Maybe that has an effect as well.
Yeah, it could, I guess.
One thing that I've noticed in the news, airports shutting down
Yeah.
for different reasons. For instance, yesterday, Brussels, Belgium, 2 of their airports were shut down. Why? Because of air traffic controllers? No, because drones are flying over them.
Oh, yes. This drone thing has really gotten strange, hasn't it?
All over Europe it's happening.
And also on the east coast of the U.S. You know, they've been having these drones show up. I mean, it kind of makes you wonder because, like in that war that's going on between Russia and Ukraine, these drone swarms are a big thing. What about our airports? I mean, how safe are they now from something like this? They wouldn't even have to be armed.
Well,
They could just be, you know, dragging a fishing line behind their tail or something.
there's a lot of countries that have closed off their airspace because the Russians are flying their drones over them.
Yeah, that's great.
I think somebody should just nuke those guys. Those guys are,
They are bad news.
you know, you've got good neighbors and bad neighbors. Russia right now, the people themselves, I can't speak for the people, but as a country, they're a bad neighbor.
They are a bad neighbor.
And
And they have always actually been a bad neighbor.
The government there deserves to get nuked.
Russian leaders have always been, you know, the real wealthy. Anytime there's ever been a war or there is a war, they just throw the proletariat at that war.
Yeah.
And that's the way they fought in World War II, and that's the way they're fighting Ukraine. They're just throwing the people out.
Yeah.
And they threw all their equipment out there. They threw all the people there and didn't really make a lot of progress. And now Ukraine's got the new long-range cruise missiles, and they're chewing Russia up. I think that's pretty interesting.
Well, they deserve it.
Yeah.
They deserve it because
Yeah, they started it. You know, and that's another thing. You hear all the stuff about Russia and everything, and people just fail to mention that those guys started that war.
yeah.
They just haven't let up. I don't think they've done one ceasefire or anything since it started.
Yeah.
If they do get a ceasefire or something like that, you know they'll just use it to repair tanks and reload the howitzers. Our buddy Trump over there, you know, he tries to get them to do stuff, and Putin basically just ignores him.
Yeah, he whispers sweet nothings in Trump's ear, makes him feel good, and then he just goes back out and takes his gun and shoots his neighbor again.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't know. I mean, personally, I think that's one of the few things that I think Trump's been really naive about is his relationship with Russia.
I always thought of Trump as being somebody who is pretty coy. You know, he could negotiate all kinds of stuff. It seems like he wants to be Putin's buddy.
Yeah.
And Putin doesn't give a shit.
Nah, Putin's not a buddy guy. Yeah, he's not the guy that you'd want to go out and hang out with and have a cold beer.
No.
Watch some sports. One of the things that I thought was really strange that the politicians have been doing is when they got all upset about Trump's ballroom that he's building. And he's paying for it, and some of his buddies are paying for it, so it's not costing the taxpayers any money. So they start tearing down the East Wing. Well, they're not actually tearing down the East Wing. They're making the path that's going to go into the ballroom, that's going to join up with the White House where the East Wing was. So it's not really destroying the East Wing, it's making it in more of a foyer. You know, they've acted like he's tearing down the whole White House. Boy, if you don't think that Trump derangement syndrome is real, it's a real thing.
Depending on how you look at it. I mean, I'm just a farm boy from Canada, and when I hear about ballrooms, I think about the filthy rich going there and having a lot of fun. Would I ever get invited to something like that?
No.
No.
But you know, it's a political thing. They have all the dignitaries and stuff from overseas. They come, and currently they have to put them in a tent, you know, with a bunch of porta potties at the side, and do it out in the yard.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, if you can get a free one, why not take it?
No, I suppose.
I mean, I wouldn't turn down a free building if somebody's going to give me a big addition to my house over here. They can add on 90,000 square feet if they want to. It kind of dwarfed my existing house. They'll have all kinds of events in that space. It's not gonna be wasted, and it's not gonna sit empty waiting for the rich people to show up. I guarantee you they will have activities there all the time. Just because it's a ballroom, it doesn't mean there's a stage at one end with a dance band and a big floor there, marble floor for people to dance. That's not what it's about. It's a multi-purpose hall. It'll have kitchens, it'll have, everything that it takes.
I'll wait and see. Yeah. I don't hold out a whole lot of hope. When politicians get something, they don't share.
No, they don't share their tent with us either. They do set it up when they have the dignitaries in town and stuff. Yeah. Like I said, the dignitaries can use the porta potty. Yeah. It's okay.
I'm just not sold on these kind of things.
You may not be aware of it. It started before World War II, during the Depression, called the WPA, and it was worker programs for people that were unemployed or for young men, that aren't in the military. And it was kind of to get the ball rolling again during the Depression era.
Right.
And they did all sorts of amazing things for the country. There's national parks that all of the facilities that are in those parks, the stone picnic tables and barbecue grills and all that stuff, were built back in the 30s by the WPA. And now I'm sure that it would be beneath our dignity to have to work in a program like that, to be able to get our money and get an income. We're not that kind of people anymore. We're the kind that don't want to do anything except get our money on a Visa card, not even a check. You don't even have to go to the bank or the 7-Eleven to cash your check anymore. You get your money in a Visa card. I don't see anything wrong with public works that are done by the public.
Sure, I agree.
I think that's a great program.
Like right now, Canada's committed to, I think, 16 of the United States jets. Originally, they were talking, 80 or so. And now they're sort of waffling on that, thinking, I think we'll just stick at 16. Now they're looking at the Gripen.
Right.
And
that's the Swedish fighter.
And Sweden is sweetening the pot. They're saying, we can build most of that jet in Canada. What a smart move. People could be working there. They could get some training, get a job working in the Gripen factory, bring down your unemployment rate.
Yeah, there's the problem with a lot of that in the U.S. is that laws are so complicated. And of course, we have the big problem, which is we don't have one United States. We have 50 separate governments. Some of them now trying to be all on their own, independent, like California and Washington and Oregon, up in that area where there's sanctuary states. That means basically that we're not with you anymore. They have those kind of problems, and it's just hard to get programs together that put people to work.
Right.
And people just don't go for it. and the government doesn't go for it. That's the people probably would go for it. Yeah. I'd a lot rather be out working or something than just sitting home watching TV and getting fat on TV dinners. I don't think they call them that anymore.
Speaking about TV dinners, I also noticed there's a new thing coming out. Actually, it's an old thing coming back. What's it called? You get this box and it's got macaroni in it and some cheese. What was that called? Hamburger Helper.
Oh, yeah.
That's coming back.
Oh, my God. It was awful when it came out the first time.
Yeah.
It's back, huh?
It's coming back.
Oh, boy.
Apparently, it's quite popular right now in the States.
Hamburger Helper is the thing that people are too lazy to chop up some onions and things like that and throw it in their hamburger meat when they cook it. Kind of like a powder that it reconstitutes. For
a lot of people who can't cook, that's something that you probably could cook.
Well, people that can't cook ought to learn to cook. That'd be a great idea, especially the ones on the SNAP program.
Yeah, well, you're a natural cook. For people like me, I've had to learn all the basics to do that.
Yeah, like boiling water and stuff.
I've passed the boiling water business, but I make an awesome whole wheat pancake.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can boil noodles and,
Spaghetti and pasta and stuff.
well, yeah, I can do those. But just the regular noodles, instead of making it into a soup, what I do is I mix up a bunch of egg and throw in some canned tuna in there, mix it all up. And once the noodles have finished, pour that in and stir it in.
Yeah.
And the water disappears. It becomes a nice sauce.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Really good.
I don't know. I think we're going to have to see what happens with this shutdown. Maybe by the time we do number 17, there will have been some kind of a settlement or a finale to this adventure that they're doing.
The other thing that's shutting down are the airports.
Yeah, and that's the airports, and I think that's going to pretty much kill the economy.
It will.
Yeah.
So
people have to fly.
I mean, the poor people going hungry, business can live with that.
Yeah.
But their executives flying around the country, they're not going to be happy with them being stuck at home.
It's pretty amazing that they're going to let the government shut down. I just can't. First of all, I can't imagine creating a system of government, has that built into it. Why in the world would you do that? That's like if you had a McDonald's, right? You owned a McDonald's franchise, and you decided that if you don't make profit in a year, and you working on your budget and everything, you don't have any money, you just shut it down and not run it for the next 3 or 4 months while you figure out what to do.
Well,
I mean,
one place one place that will not happen, New York City.
Yeah.
That place, it's not going to start.
No. Now,
with the new mayor.
Yeah.
Oh.
Looks like it's great. We've got an Islamist, anti-Semite communist. There's going to be some changes in New York. Things, it's the old saying, things may not be better, but they'll damn sure be different.
That's right.
Hey, we got to head out. This is, it's about time to close up. They're going to run us out of here pretty quick.
Okay.
So this is JR, the Texpat OTG. This is the Old Guys Talking Shit show, number 16. I want to thank y'all for watching and thank Jeff, our
Crazy Canuck,
for joining us today for the show.
Okay. Bye-bye.